2 weeks. Whether you watch this right towards the end of December or whether you watch it in the new year, this episode will help you to maximize your potential coming into a new year. Thrilled to be with you guys. I've got 3 major points I'm going to share with you that are must-dos, must-understands as we come into 2023. Enjoy, guys. The big question is this: how do those of us in the real estate industry with crazy amounts of ambition, how do we think bigger than the building of our own empires? How do we simultaneously seek success and significance, income and impact? My name is Justin Stoddart, and this is the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. All right, guys, welcome back to the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Justin Stoddart. Thrilled to be with you today. We're going to be talking about the best uses of the last 2 weeks of the year. The date that I'm recording this on, we have a full 2 weeks left. You might be watching this later. You might be watching this after we're into, maybe even into January. Regardless, these principles are evergreen. They will support you in your business and gaining momentum regardless of where you're at. But if you're listening right now, very near the date of recording, you're going to get tons of value out of this. So let me begin with the entire overall umbrella is intentionality. Okay, intentionality will solve most everything. Now, once you are intentional, I'm going to give you a framework by which you can actually create results, right? Because intentionality without a good framework will still kind of leave you wandering, right? It won't get you actually to where you want to go. The right intentionality with the right framework is going to get you there. So we're going to dive right into this framework. The very first thing I want to share with you are the 3 points that we're going to be covering. Number 1 is transformation. Okay. Number 2 is connection. And number 3 is momentum. I'm going to cover all 3 of those. So let's begin with transformation. Okay. I believe that there is a really cool opportunity for you to look at the place where we're at in December and say, I'm in the middle of a holiday trifecta. Okay. Look at it this way. Regardless of what holidays you celebrate, don't get caught up on that. Just extract the lessons and learn from what I'm about ready to share with you. Okay. The first holiday of the holiday trifecta is Thanksgiving. It's a time to be grateful, to be thankful. We can't progress very far at all if we don't recognize what we already have. You see, what happens when you come in and say, I don't have enough, I'm not enough, I didn't achieve enough, I didn't hit my goals. All of that's lack and scarcity, and it causes our possibilities to constrict. And on this show, we do just the opposite. Our goal here is to expand your possibilities, which means you have to come from a different mindset. You can't be looking at lack. You have to be looking at abundance of what you already have. So the holiday of Thanksgiving or gratitude, however you celebrate it, must be centered on the fact of how much I already have, all the things that I do have, all the things that are good about me, that are good about my business, that are good about my circumstances. When we come from that perspective, you guys, everything changes because all of a sudden it's not lack, it's abundance. So the first holiday, the holiday trifecta, is Thanksgiving, and it is centered on gratitude, being aware of and grateful for all that is well. Okay, the second holiday is Christmas. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, again, don't get hung up on that. I do. And the celebration of Christmas is really a celebration of redemption, right? We believe that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, came down in order to redeem mankind from their fallen and sinful state. And so whether you, again, believe in Christianity or not, the key is to recognize the principle there of redemption, of recognizing that I wasn't all that I could have been, and so I'm going to be better now. Okay, it's simply an awareness of where you were off. If you gloss over this, you don't actually step in and focus on the fact of like, hey, I could have been better here, and you don't actually take responsibility, then next year is destined to repeat itself from last year. In other words, last year's destined to repeat itself in this upcoming year. So being aware of where you can improve is essential. That's the second of the holiday trifecta. The third one is New Year's. New Year's gives us the ability to have a refreshing new start, to commit ourselves to something new and awesome and great. Okay. So again, the holiday trifecta. Number 1, be grateful for what you have. Number 2, the redemption of I can be better and I will be better. And 3, to commit yourself to the models and activities that will actually drive results. Okay. So that transformation, I would encourage you to this year, before the end of the holidays, take time to create a miracle morning routine to where you really have time to transform yourself in the morning, thinking about those things as we move into the new year. Okay, that's step one, is to become a better person between now and when 2023 kicks off. Okay, the second part that I want to talk with you about is connection. This is an amazing time to connect with people. Now, maybe you have a bunch of people like me under your same roof, right? I'm very fortunate to have a wife and 6 children. Now, some of you, that would drive you crazy, and that's not your idea of a good time. I totally respect that. Whether you are the only person living under your roof or whether you have many, you need to identify the people in your life that matter the most. Now, let's say you live a bit of a solo life. I would imagine that there are people out in the world who would love your presence, would love your company, would love you looking out for them, okay, and pouring into them. So whoever those people are, whether they're directly related to you, friends, neighbors, whatever it is, decide who matters the most to you, and then decide how they experience and appreciate being loved. In other words, their love language, right? I tell the story of my son several years ago during COVID. He got really into this game called Roblox. Now he's really into running, which is a little more my style. But for the longest time, I resented him for that. I was like, Corbin, get off the computer, get off the computer, get off the computer. And then I took some time to sit down beside him and watch how good he was. And I'll tell you, whether or not I love video games or not is beside the point. He matters everything to me. He's so important to me. And I was too busy caught up on the thing that I didn't really go appreciate him in his element, what he wanted to do. So again, the key is identify the people that matter the most to you and spend time doing things that matter a lot to them. Okay, this is about them. It's not about you. Connecting to them. Okay, so that's the second step of this being very intentional during the holidays. Number one, right, it was to have a transformation. Number two is to have deep connection. Now, you might be asking yourself, I don't know if I have time for anything else. And here's what most real estate agents do. They say it's the holidays. There's not much going on. I'm going to kick back. The problem with that is that you step into January with zero momentum. The reality is we have 168 hours every single week. I was doing this exercise with my kids the other day, and I was asking them to help out. And they're like, well, Dad, we don't have time. We've got homework. They've got early morning seminary, which they go learn spiritual things before school. And they go to school, and then they've got sports, and then they've got homework. And it's like, Dad, we don't have time for anything else. And I said, you have 168 hours a week. So we did the math and all the things and how much, and we were very generous in how much each of those things took. At the end of the day, you still had 4 to 5 hours every day, right? Call it 30 to 35 hours a week where they could be helpful. And they're like, oh, wow, I didn't realize I had that much time. I was like, I know, you're wasting time. So you can help out the dishes for 30 minutes. Like you're going to be okay. The same is true of us. We might think like, okay, well, all I can do is have this transformation and this connection. That's all I have time for. No. If you're intentional, you can actually map and plan out your day to where you have enough time to do it all. You really do. Okay. There's plenty of time. So, but you do need to be intentional about it. Okay. Now, the third of the 3 steps, the 3 points that I'm going to share with you is momentum. I had a great basketball coach. He was actually awarded at one point the High School National Basketball Coach of the Year award. Amazing man. He would be the same guy that would oftentimes call me out or not just me, but the whole team. Anytime we were not playing defense like we should have, he would say, Stoddart, how much did you pay for that seat? He'd like stop practice. Say, how much did you pay for that seat? It wasn't a seat. I was standing in the middle of the court. I was just watching instead of actually playing tough defense. And so that was like, he was that kind of good coach. We loved him, but he was tough. And one of the things he would say is that we have to work to get Big Mo on our team. Now, what was he talking about? Mo's momentum. He said, when we get momentum on our team, it's like having a 6th player on the court. It's like we can't be stopped. Like he's like, we have to get momentum. The same is true in our businesses. Once we have momentum, it's like this invisible hand that's pushing us forward. Okay. So how do we get that? One way we don't get it is by waiting until January to get started on our January business. One of the best things you can do right now is to connect with people that you love, meaning in business, right? Your sphere, your key referral partners, the people you appreciate, and schedule time with them. If they've got time between now and the end of the year, do it if you have time for it. If not, then I would encourage you to start filling up your schedule in January. You guys, there's nothing more empowering than stepping into January 2nd or January 3rd and having your calendar already full. Like that feels so good. I got this advice years ago. And it's one of the things I love doing now is really filling up my calendar early, because then I can really enjoy the holidays. I can really enjoy the transformation, the connection, because I know that my January is already moving forward. It's a little bit daunting when you step into the office and you've got no appointments and it's like, okay, where do I start? I guess oftentimes why agents don't start until mid-January or later January is like, everything to do, right? The later you wait, the later the results come. And I'll tell you right now, people are making decisions about at least thinking about their real estate plans in the upcoming year. And they're deciding who's showing up in their life big, who's their advisor. So don't miss this opportunity to really connect with people and fill your calendar. Now, I want to share with you something that I've developed. For those of you that are watching live via video, you'll be able to see this. For those that aren't, I would encourage you to reach out to me. I'm happy to share this with you. In fact, just email me. My email address is justin@thinkbiggerre.com. Just email me, say dashboard, and we'll just schedule a time and I'll show this to you. But what I want to share with you is something that I've created to create momentum. Okay, it's a dashboard that allows me to be hyper present when I'm working and hyper present away from work when I'm not working. So the way that this starts for me, and some of you went through my business planning course this past week, but it starts with a vision board. The key areas of my life I've got, and my mentors and people I look up to and admire, right? I have a vision board. So think of a business plan fused together with a dream board. That's what I have. Okay. Now it jumps right into what I call my blueprint, which is my business plan has pictures on it, right? So it's not a stale spreadsheet. I know exactly what my vacations are going to be like in the upcoming year. I have my big goals for the year. And then from there, I jump right into my dashboard. I know exactly how well I've executed thus far, right? I know how many calls I've conducted. I know how much revenue I've produced already this month. And then I jump right into my daily routine, my activities. It already predetermined because I decided in advance what I was going to be doing. And then I commit to it. All too often, we get distracted because we're always entertaining new models. We're always entertaining new marketing ideas. Take these last 2 weeks to decide what models you're going to focus on. Decide what you're actually going to do, the activities, and then commit to it for the next 12 weeks, right? That's what we teach is commit to it for 12 weeks, evaluate for that week in between, which is the end of the quarter, and then commit again, right? They're short 4 sprints throughout the year. And at the end of the year, you have time to evaluate again. So this is, in my opinion, the path for you to be wildly productive is to decide in advance what you're going to do and then commit to it. Now, for those of you that are in a spot, you're like, Justin, the things that I've committed to in the past are not getting me to where I want to go. Like my sphere is underperforming. My warm market is underperforming. Cold leads aren't performing like they used to, right? People are a little bit on ice right now because of, right, high interest rates. Prices are kind of settling a little bit. What do I do, right? For those of you that are listening to this live, I'm actually doing a workshop on Wednesday, 2 days from now. So it's Wednesday, December 14th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And I'm going to put in the chat here. I'm doing a deep dive. For those that know me or know me well, know that I authored a book called The Upstream Model. And the Upstream Model is simply a way for you to scale your warm market business using your professional network, using other business owners. Now, this isn't like a BNI chapter, like that. It's very focused on finding motivated buyers and sellers. You're spending time with attorneys. You're spending time with financial advisors, with insurance agents, with people who all day, every day are meeting with their clients and uncovering the fact that they are going to be selling real estate soon. And these are motivated buyers. So these are people that, for example, went through a divorce that have to sell, right? That like there's no choice. They have to sell. So I'm putting in the chat for anybody that's watching live, the opportunity to register for that. Now, if you're listening to the podcast after the fact, simply go to bit.ly, so bit.ly/upstream model hyphen DEC, like December, DEC 2022. I'll send out emails about this as well, or find me on social if that didn't work, if it didn't come through for you, and I'll send you the link. But don't miss this. I'm pouring for probably 3+ hours. I'm going to pour deeply into those that attend, teaching them how they can ramp up and scale their warm market business. You guys, I'm so excited for these last 2 weeks for me and for you. Again, if I could just give a quick recap, right? Number one, use this as a time intentionally to transform yourself. Turn yourself into somebody better through gratitude, through redemption, and through recommitting, okay? That's the first section. The next one is connect. Use this time to connect with the people who you love the most. And then lastly, use this time, right, to really get yourself in momentum. And if you're looking for the models to which you can commit to help you to scale a warm market business, join me this Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And I will be pouring deeply into you how you can do that using a model that I've uncovered and have been using for the past 2 decades, one that I'm excited to share with you. So appreciate everybody tuning in today. If this has been helpful, let us know. And my final request of everybody listening here today are these 3 simple words, and they are go think bigger. Talk soon, my friends. Honest, hearing good ideas is not enough. You have to apply them in order to get the results desired. If you found value in today's episode, then you're really going to love the community of big thinkers and high achievers that we are building in order to help you to apply the principles taught today. If you're not yet a member of Think Bigger Real Estate on Facebook, go sign up